You ever watch your favorite NBA team make a move in the offseason and immediately know everything's gonna go wrong the second a ridiculous trade is made for a certain type of player? Some franchises over the years simply never freaking learn. Optimistic fans hoping it'll finally be their year, only to result in miserable defeats. Overpaying mid-tier guys straight up sabotaging their franchise for years. Heading into 2026, a bunch of teams heading absolutely nowhere, stuck in mediocrity, unserious. If you're a fan of one of these franchises, just hop on another team's bandwagon for now. It's gonna be a rough rest of the 2020s decade, starting with the crappy, mid-tier, king of play-in Chicago Bulls. As long as Jerry Reinsdorf runs the team, nothing's gonna happen. No matter the GM, there's no hope for this disgusting, always losing to Miami in the play-in every year, traded role player Alex Caruso for promising 22-year-old who proved to be the best thing for the franchise, and yet no extensions for the restricted free agent. Giddey, solid averages of 15, 8, and 7, his half-court buzzer beater might have set the Bulls back another decade, forcing the team to have the 11 best odds. Dallas beneath them at 10 somehow landed Cooper Flagg. That's what happens when you got guys trying to prove themselves, when the franchise wants to lose at the same time. 4 years, $100 million. No mid-franchise don't want to give any long-term deals for non-guaranteed all-stars. But with or without Giddey, Chicago ain't contending anytime soon. Team all of a sudden can't find a trade partner for 19 and 10 Nikola Vucevic, planning to waive him after just having a year on his deal. Find something already. It's not that complicated. Given it's the Bulls, they don't know anything. It's 90% expected to have both Patrick Williams and Vucevic start game 1 of the regular season. Soon to be 35 years old, will probably become a Clippers trade target. Wu's just a bad team grade stats guy. Kobe White has improved tremendously, but a free agent next season, he's not as good as Zach LaVine used to be. Team will likely be drawing White massive money, might need to move him by the deadline as well. Bizelis, the only promising guy on the roster, capable of becoming a legit game changer, only 20 years old, too many expirings. This team has never went out in free agency. Too cheap to pay the luxury tax, the smallest big market team, not good enough to be a bottom 5, only relies on attendance, ownership still living off the Jordan era. Nobody predicted things to get worse after Gerb Pax, but it's 10 times worse now. Failing to acquire top tier talent, too cheap to take chances, plays it safe every year, and continues getting mediocre results. They don't have a single player that's top 10 at their position. Their main guys would be 4th to 6th options on contenders, need to fully rebuild and rely on high draft picks, but they won't because the play-in is just enough. Fans are losing it, nothing changes until Jerry steps down. Had Jordan played for another franchise, the Bulls would easily be the worst all time. The Toronto Raptors, everything went downhill after the departure of Kawhi Leonard, a slow regression, but instead of hitting rock bottom, they thought they found their franchise player, former Rookie of the Year, Scotty Barnes, who has not improved since year 2. There's no top prospects coming to save them. Overpaying for mid-starters. Imagine being just a play-in team in the tax crunch next few years. Their guys gotta be too expensive to trade. Drew away 3 years, $120 million for somebody who can't be the guy, too many injuries, and stopped getting better 5 years ago. How are these guys gonna fit in with Brandon Ingram? RJ Barrett, with all the respect, wasn't gonna help the Knicks reach the level they're at now. Losing winners, Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby, both excellent players in winning situations for unproven young guys. Extending Jakob Poeltl, basically 5 for 114. Team too many injuries last season. There's no leadership or identity. Top 12 in salary for the league for the 20th best roster. This team might have to attach picks in 2 years to get rid of Quigley or Ingram. Bobby Webster has his hands full. Coach Darko, is he even the right guy going forward for some of these role players like Grady Dick and Ocho? Might have a bigger impact next season over Ingram if BI continues to miss games. Toronto basically the same exact team last season. If Ingram continues to miss 30 games a season, this team will only go as far as Scotty Barnes takes them. Being on a max contract, he's not even a top 40 player in the league right now. An absolute travesty. The sooner Toronto accept Scotty's not a number 1, the better for the franchise, fans, and himself. all that pressure, there's no easy path going forward. Locking into their core 5 starters for years when they haven't even played a single game together, Masai Ujiri holding out on OG for way too long, expecting multiple first round picks, instead ended up with 2 big contracts without much value. Quickly and RJ won't move the needle. We're looking at countless play-in runs or first round exits for the rest of the decade. New Orleans Pelicans, their curse can't do nothing with Zion. All the pieces from the Anthony Davis trade gone, Joe Dumars traded their unprotected 2026 draft pick, moving up for Derek Queen. Was that even necessary? We don't even know if Queen will pan out. DeJounte Murray and Zion barely played together. Traded for Jordan Poole, empty stats Washington Wizards. Like he's gonna save them? Why they sign Kawhi Looney? Zion simply doesn't have it. He probably more than halfway into his NBA career. Their cap space tight with Zion, Poole, Murray, Trey Murphy, and Herb Jones projected to be over the cap for the next 3 seasons. Shift out most of their second round picks through 2029. With all the respect to Bourbon Street, it's time to relocate this disgusting of an experiment. 50 plus years in New Orleans with professional basketball, the fans don't even care. Dumars himself hasn't been thought of since his Detroit front office days, might have made the dumbest decision of this past draft. Same owner Gail Benson also runs the New Orleans Saints. Basketball only 1% of the worries. Anthony Davis 100% accurate to this day. There's already 6 teams out west, way better than New Orleans even if fully healthy. Trying to win now, not a realistic approach. What has Zion learned his 6 seasons as an NBA player? Absolutely nothing. His co-stars B.I. and C.J. McCollum gone. Big Z, now looked upon as the vet on his team, has 0 leadership qualities. Front office acting like Derek Queen their savior. A lineup of Jordan Poole, Jones, Murphy, Zion, and Messi. Pretty solid on paper, might be play-in material. DeJounte coming off from injuries, not the same guy he used to be. Waiting around for Mr. Williamson, praying he stays healthy. False wishes. This dysfunctional organization with a dysfunctional superstar talent made more negative headlines off the court than his actual star production. 2 of the worst mix imaginable, having Queen and Looney at the 5 next to Zion, god-awful spacing, betting on Jordan Poole to be the guy to save them. Jordan Hawkins doesn't seem so confident in his jumper no more. Phoenix Suns, there's no best path going forward but acknowledging the failures of the Durant, Bradley Beal, too many coaches era. Devin Booker on verge going through another painful rebuild, waited way too long to become relevant. Basketball without CP3, not that easy. Banking on Jalen Green's future, a ball-dominant scorer, a 2-year $150 extension, his worst nightmare ending up like current Bradley Beal if he declines towards the final 2 years of that contract, wanting to remain in one franchise forever. Easier said than done when you're still in your 20s. Team in desperation mode, trying to keep their guy in the valley forever, but how much better can Booker get? A borderline top 15 player at best. Without CP3, can Book carry his team with better quality players as a first option? Didn't work out with KD. Having young Jalen Green, defensive Dylan Brooks, drafted MacLeod, traded for Mark Williams, also Nick Richards, got 30-year-old Nigel Hayes, a harsh lesson learned when they had the perfect pieces in contention, especially making the finals followed by a 64-win season. Throwing away half their starters for a disgruntled superstar, end up having no depth, no culture, chemistry ruined. The whole Kuminga thing don't seem to be working out. There's a reason why only Phoenix and Sacramento want a guy like him. Nobody else cares. Getting rid of Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and Richards will be on the horizon. If you can't tank due to not having your own draft picks, can't build any more through free agency, Jalen Green the only guy that can save the team, but given his first round playoff disaster, how much faith do Suns fans have? Hiring coaches and rehiring again? They're in a similar situation to the mid-2010s Brooklyn Nets after the Garnett-Paul Pierce mess. Sacramento Kings, more like the Sacramento Bulls. When DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine on your team, you're not too terrible, but also not contenders. Being in a much better conference, their 2023 season an anomaly. From 2 bad decades, only to become irrelevant overnight. With all the respect to De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, that team nothing more than first round exits. only to be somewhat competitive, having the number 1 offense 2023 only falling to 9 with little to no D, Sabonis way too flawed in the playoffs, Pedro 2028, trading for aging star DeMar DeRozan, giving up a first round pick, a huge regret, that'll guarantee them 0 playoff series wins, firing Mike Brown became the last straw for De'Aaron Fox, who they held on to over Tyrese Halliburton, did not get a good enough return, Zach LaVine, too much money on the books, not a proving winner, Keegan Murray, taken 4th in the draft, had his consequences, all that for short-term success, established as a 3-and-D role player, the likes of Jaden Ivey, Dyson Daniel, and Jalen Williams all picked after him way better now. The lack of confidence in his jumper makes him unplayable at times. The best young players the team has, Keon Ellis and Murray, being the only promising players with some upside, their 4th and 5th options are real contenders at best. Devin Carter still unproven, franchise stuck in misery, forever hurting from not drafting Luka Doncic. Sacramento not the type of team to hit on high draft picks, and when they do, can't build the right pieces around their good players. 20 plus years of endless pain. Right now, the guys on their roster not sustainable. Franchise can officially retire the beam rest of the decade, save that energy, nothing to see. Whenever Vivek decides to accept reality, Sacramento will eventually go on a full rebuild, get rid of everybody, have to trade Malik Monk ASAP. The longest title drought since the Kansas City Royal days, nothing can save them now. At least young teams like the Washington Wizards, Brooklyn Nets trying to build something 2 years from now, most certainly a much better situation than currently. Utah, lots of draft picks, they're tanking but building, that's it. Danny Ainge knows what he's doing. Charlotte Hornets hasn't made the playoffs since 2016. They drafted a couple promising pieces, slowly trying to build a culture. As for the Milwaukee Bucks, they'll be number 1 on this list after Giannis decides to leave. It'll be over for the franchise for at least a decade until then. With number 34 in uniform, they'll be contending in the postseason, however long Giannis wants to stay.